At 6:05 in the morning, on Saturday, August 9th, 2025, police officers walked into a house on Pinewood Road in Northampton, England. Inside, they found the body of 43-year-old Kimberley Thompson. The scene around her had been arranged to tell a story. It suggested a woman who had ended her own life after drinking heavily. The man who called for help was her estranged husband, Michael Thompson. He told officers they had been intimate that night. He said she had been drinking. He said he later found her unresponsive. The officers who attended that morning accepted his account. He was left alone in the house. Then the toxicology report came back, and it said something the scene did not. There was no alcohol in Kimberley Thompson's body. None at all. Kimberley Thompson. Kim, to the people who knew her, she was 43 years old, a civil servant working at the court center in Northampton, a mother of 2. She had been married to Michael Thompson for 19 years. He was 55 at the time of her death, a former doorman working in a warehouse. By the summer of 2025, the marriage was over on paper, but not in practice. The couple had been separated for around 2 years. Divorce proceedings were underway, and yet they were still living in the same house on Pinewood Road in separate bedrooms. At trial, prosecutor Miranda Moore, King's counsel, described what that marriage had actually looked like. She told the jury that Kim had gone from being healthy, happy, and bubbly to thin, self-doubting, and fearful. The court heard that Thompson monitored what she did, what she ate, where she went, who she was with. Police later described the pattern in 3 words: manipulation, coercive control, physical violence. There was a paper trail. In 2013, Kim contacted a domestic abuse support service in Northampton. She later withdrew her complaint. The court heard she was afraid of what would happen if she reported what was going on. But by 2025, things were changing. Kim had a new relationship. She was planning to move out. She was arranging flights to visit her daughter, who was studying in the United States. And she was seeking around £65,000 as part of the divorce settlement. Prosecutors told the jury that Michael Thompson knew all of it. The timeline prosecutors put in front of the jury was narrow. Northamptonshire police say that sometime between midnight and 3:30 in the morning, on Saturday, August 9th, 2025, Michael Thompson went into his wife's bedroom, sexually assaulted her, and killed her. Officers arrived at the property at 6:05 that morning. Kimberley Thompson was already dead. There was no arrest that day. Her death was not immediately treated as a murder, and what changed that was not the police. It was Kim's friends and family. In the hours around her death, posts appeared on social media under her name. People who knew her read them, and something felt wrong. The messages contained spelling mistakes. The wording didn't sound like her. Prosecutors would later argue that Michael Thompson wrote those posts himself. Her circle raised the alarm. 3 days after Kim's body was found, a 55-year-old man from Northampton was arrested. He was released on bail. Detective Inspector Tori Harrison told the public the investigation was complex and likely to take time. She was right. The case was led by Detective Chief Inspector Tori Harrison of the East Midlands Special Operations Unit. The first pillar of the case was medical. A post-mortem examination was carried out. At the opening of the inquest, Senior Coroner Ann Pember gave a provisional cause of death: external airway obstruction, in plain terms. Kim did not die from an overdose. She died because her airway was blocked from the outside. The second pillar was toxicology, and this is the finding that took the entire scene apart. The post-mortem found no evidence of alcohol in Kimberley Thompson's body, only low levels of caffeine, paracetamol, and codeine. Think about what that means. The room had been arranged to show a woman who had been drinking heavily. Her blood said otherwise. The scene and the science flatly contradicted each other. The third pillar was digital. Investigators established that Thompson had made hundreds of hours of recordings of his wife. The prosecution said he secretly recorded her and tracked her movements. Miranda Moore told the jury that in the hours before the killing, Thompson had been in his room, watching videos of his estranged wife, angry that she had a new partner, angry that she was planning to move out, and angry about the £65,000 she had asked for. Investigators also examined the messages sent in Kim's name. Prosecutors said Thompson manufactured communications designed to make it look like she had been drinking, and separately, communications designed to suggest she had initiated the sexual contact. Every one of those digital artifacts was later charged as a separate criminal act. So here is what the jury was given. The medical finding: death by external airway obstruction, not an overdose. The toxicology screen: no alcohol. The physical scene: items placed around the body after death. The digital record: hundreds of hours of covert recordings and fabricated messages published in Kim's name. And a documented financial dispute: £65,000. Michael Thompson did not give evidence at his own trial. In police interviews, he attacked his wife's character, calling her a pathological liar. Here's the first thing I want to put to you. The staged scene was convincing enough that officers initially accepted it. It was a lab report and a group of friends who wouldn't let it go that broke this case open. Do you think it would have been solved at all if nobody had questioned those messages? Let me know what you think in the comments. Michael Thompson of Pinewood Road, Northampton, was charged with 1 count of rape and 1 count of murder. He appeared at Northampton Magistrates Court and later at Northampton Crown Court on September 19, 2025. On December 16, 2025, he pleaded not guilty to all charges. That included 2 additional counts of committing an act tending and intended to pervert the course of public justice. Count 3 alleged that he manufactured communications from Kim, suggesting she had initiated sexual contact. Count 4 alleged that he manufactured messages suggesting she had been drinking and arranged items at her bedside to make her death look self-inflicted. The trial was held at Nottingham Crown Court. The jury was sworn in on Thursday, May 21, 2026. The prosecution opened its case 5 days later. The trial ran for roughly 6 weeks. Jurors were sent out to deliberate on Friday, July 3, 2026. They deliberated for around 11.5 hours across 4 days. At about 11 a.m. on Wednesday, July 8, 2026, a jury of 7 women and 5 men returned unanimous guilty verdicts. Guilty on all 4 counts: murder, rape, and 2 counts of perverting the course of justice. Thompson, by then 56 years old, was remanded in custody. In England and Wales, a murder conviction carries a mandatory life sentence. The judge sets the minimum term that must be served before parole can even be considered. His sentencing hearing was listed for Tuesday, July the 14th, 2026, at Nottingham Crown Court. And that would be the end of the story. Except there is one part of this case the jury never heard. After Kim's death, Northamptonshire police were told about another woman, Rhonda Anderson, 29 years old, a shop and bar worker, a former partner of Michael Thompson. She was found dead at her home in the Briar Hill area of Northampton on July 8, 2000. An inquest held later that year ruled her death an accident. The finding was electrocution. Because of concerns raised about those circumstances, and in light of what had happened to Kim, police launched a fresh murder investigation. They arrested Michael Thompson on suspicion of murder. They revisited reports that were 25 years old. They issued a public appeal for anyone who had known Rhonda at the time. Prosecutors argued that Thompson's jury should have been told he had used Rhonda Anderson's death to threaten his wife. The judge ruled that evidence inadmissible. So the jury decided Kim's case without ever hearing Rhonda's name. After the verdicts, police confirmed the outcome of that second investigation. There was insufficient evidence to take it any further. No further action was taken against Michael Thompson in relation to Rhonda Anderson's death. He has not been charged with any offense connected to her. A 26-year-old accidental death ruling, reopened, examined, and closed again, without answers. Kimberley Thompson died between midnight and 3:30 in the morning, on August 9, 2025. She died from external airway obstruction. The scene around her body had been arranged to tell a lie. Forensic toxicology exposed it. On July 8, 2026, a jury convicted her husband on all 4 counts against him. And here's my second question for you. Kim reached out to a domestic abuse service in 2013. Then she withdrew the complaint because she was afraid of what would happen if she reported it. 12 years later, she was dead. What has to change so the next person who makes that call doesn't feel like they have to take it back? Tell me in the comments. If you want more cases built on court records and verified evidence and not on speculation, subscribe to the channel. One last fact. Michael Thompson spent that night arranging a scene designed to prove his wife had been drinking heavily. Her blood contained no alcohol at all.